knife. 1, 2, 3. That's close enough. Hi everybody, my name is Andrew and this is Kite Army. So today's video is going to be a little different than most of my videos. The excitement level is going to be a little lower. We're really going to get in touch with our super inner Zen selves. Really peaceful place. And the reason why is because I've got this kitchen knife that needs a sharpening in a serious way. Let me show you. Watch this. Stand back. It could be dangerous. See, if I work hard enough, I can beat that paper to death. The great thing about this knife, it doesn't matter if you use the dull side or the really dull side. So you get the same result. Anyway, so I knew I had a bunch of kitchen knives that required a good sharpening, so I went onto Amazon and found this product by TackLife right here. And what it is a whetstone for sharpening knives. Now when I say whet, it's spelled W-H-E-T, and that actually, the definition of wet is itself to sharpen. So it has nothing to do whether or not this stone needs to be lubricated with water or oil. However, this stone should be lubricated with water. Now speaking of the stone, it's actually a man-made stone, so your knife sharpening purists, if you're a sushi chef, or you're totally into like perfection on your knives, you're probably gonna want a natural stone, but for the guy who just wants to make his knives super sharp and make his wife happy, makes carving that turkey or ham easy, this is the way you should do it. So now when I said this stone requires lubricant, it really is best to submerge it in water, let it soak up all that water, and as you sharpen your blade, that water will keep the process lubricated. Now this stone is actually two stones in one. It's an 8,000 grit and a 3,000 grit. And this model's the more expensive stone. It's about 30 bucks on Amazon. They do have a stone that has coarser grit, meaning it won't put as sharp of an edge on the knife, but it will do it quicker, for about $25. Now, while I've got this out, let me show you. It's got a nice rubber gasket for this stone to sit in inside this bamboo bed that they've made for you, and on the bottom of the bed they have a nice rubber foot. So when you're moving your knife along the stone here, like this, it means the stone won't be shifting around, so you can really control how you sharpen the blade. Also, they include this guy. It's a knife angle guide, so you slide it onto your knife like so, and as you're sharpening it, it will keep the angle precisely how you need it to put the best edge on that blade. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to soak this stone in water, let it absorb all that goodness, and then we will get to sharpening the blade. All right, it's time to take my whetstone for a little bit of a swim. Here we go, make sure it goes all the way under. And check that out. Once the stone is completely saturated and it stops bubbling, you can remove it from the water. My stone has been submerged now in the water for about 15 minutes, so it should be ready to go. Let's take that out. And make sure that you set your stone to start the sharpening process to the more coarse, which in this case is the 3,000. Okay, right there. I'm going to set it into my bamboo base here. It's like that. It's all right to have some water on that surface. Now here's the blade that I want to sharpen. This is a Henkel's knife. It's probably not the best quality steel for a knife, but this is what most of us are going to have around in our kitchens. So I think this is a good knife to demonstrate this sharpening stone with. So the next thing to do is put on your angle guide, and this is really for beginners. Once you get the feel of how to set up the angle for your blade against the stone, you won't need that anymore. Now there's so many different opinions about how to sharpen a blade. This is just the one that I'm going to use. Some people practice going this way all the way to the end and then back that way. I think that's a little bit more complicated, and probably for someone who's more advanced with sharpening knives, so we're going to keep it simple. What we're going to do to start is we're just going to set the blade on a little bit of an angle like this, and we're going to drag it back with a little bit of pressure, and then when we get to the end of the stone, just nice and easy return it. okay? And we're gonna move along the blade here. When you draw it towards yourself, that's sort of when you're trying to put a little bit of pressure down. When you're moving it forward, you lighten up. Just relax. Again. And now I'm off my guide, but I have a sense of what that angle should be. So let me go all the way to the tip here. To drag it back, more pressure, pushing it forward, lighten up, go all the way out to the tip there. Drag it towards yourself, push it forwards. Again, move up towards the body of the knife now. Anyway, it's time to flip it over. Add a little bit more water here. And same process, just now the body is on this side and the knife point's on this side. Same idea, on an angle, light, and then drag. Light, and drag. Move along that whole knife. All right, so that's got about 10 minutes on it. I've already done both sides. Let me clean the knife. And some of the little dents and dings on the metal are actually now removed. So that's good. Now, this is only half of what we need to do here, but let's see how we do. Still not cutting through. This knife was in bad shape. You see, still beating it down. So it's going to need another go on both sides to get it near where it needs to go to the higher grit, finer side of the stone. I just spent about 30 minutes sharpening this blade. I can tell the blade itself is a lot sharper. It's got a nicer edge on it. In the right light, you can see that it's actually got a decent edge. It does have some nicks in the blade that were from the years of use in the kitchen. Anyway, I'm gonna try to polish this blade right now by using the 8000 grit part of the stone. Remember, the higher the number, the finer the grit, which means the more refined the polish will be. So I'm gonna spend about 20 or 30 minutes on that side of the stone, and then will come the real test. It's not too early to try the paper test. What do you think of that, guys? That's a little bit of an improvement. All right, but let's put the finished polish on the blade, and we'll see how it works out. Same process as on the other side, just move it carefully forward, and then on the back stroke, push down a little bit, relax, push down, relax. All right, once you've spent a few minutes on the finer grit, you're ready to put the final polish on the blade. And the way you do that is by running the blade all the way to the body, all the way to the tip. So as you go along like this, okay? And then you flip it over and you go along this way. So let me demonstrate that to you. I'm gonna wet my stone a little bit here. All the way to the end, just like that. Now, if you flip it over, every few strokes, you won't get a burr on it. And if you've done everything well, you'll have one mean knife. All right, let's have one last inspection here of the blade. Speaking of how old this blade is, you can see that's the Hinkle symbol right there, and it's almost gone. So these have been with me and my wife for about 13, 14 years now. All right, let's see how we do with the paper. Paper's getting a little ragged, but I got a nice edge right. Yeah, let me grab a nice edge right there. Here we go, ready? Pretty amazing, right? It's time to stalk my prey. Get it? Stalk. A Ginsu knife. 1, 2, 3. That's close enough. You get the point. This is gonna be bananas. Whoa, bananas. Bananas, bananas, bananas. Very cool. And last but not least, the paper, which is over there. Let me grab it. This is where it all started. This is where it all ends. Huh? It seems a little dull if you ask me. Maybe a few more minutes on the sharpening stone. Anyway, that's it for now. I absolutely love this. I completely got to get in zen and then get crazy, which I love. This is the TackLife sharpening stone, available on Amazon. Check it out. I'll have a link below. That's it for now. Please like this video, make some comments, get your zen on with your sharpening stone, and I'll see you guys around real soon.